Robin Williams may no longer be with us, but his legacy as one of the finest comedic and dramatic actors of his generation will stay with us forever. Looking back at his many roles, it's hard to imagine his drama teacher ever telling him that he would never make it as an actor. Yet, Robin Williams went on to have worldwide success in almost every genre imaginable. So today, we're going to honor the funny man by counting down the top 10 Robin Williams movies of all time.
I eat wood, dinner, 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 dinner. It tastes good, dinner, 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 dinner. No meat, big feet. I eat wood, boom, 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 boom.
Number 10, Hook.
Those are my kids! Those are my kids!
Mr. Hook, I want those kids out of that net in less than 1 minute, or you better get an attorney and hope to God he's better than me.
In this sequel to Peter Pan, Williams played an older version of the boy who never grew up. This time, he must return to Neverland and his childhood to save his own children from the clutches of his old nemesis, Captain Hook. One of the stranger things about the movie is that Robin Williams had his arms and upper torso shaved, but that was for the better. Williams was famed for his body hair, which would have been distracting in his Pan outfit. During the filming, Williams and director Steven Spielberg became good friends with the master filmmaker, remarking that he tried to rewatch the movie after Robin's death, but was unable to because he couldn't stop crying.
Now we end this.
Number 9, Jumanji.
I'm back! It's me! It's me, Alan, Mom and Dad!
The 90s was the peak of Williams' career, with Jumanji being a particular box office smash. In it, Williams plays Alan Parrish, a boy sucked into a magical board game, only to escape decades later when the game spills out into the real world. But it wasn't just audiences who loved the movie. The townsfolk of Keene, New Hampshire, where the movie was shot, warmed to the star during filming and even presented him with the keys to the city in 1994. A memorial was held by the townsfolk below the Parrish Shoes sign to honor the late actor.
Run! It's a stampede!
However, Robin was almost scrapped from the movie before the cameras were rolling. Early on, the director had reservations because of Williams' reputation for improvisation. This time around, Williams understood how tightly structured the script was, so held back on his freeform invention to play the script as intended. Yet one scene where he didn't even need to act was when big game hunter Van Pelt fires his gun. Apparently, the blanks were so loud on set that Williams couldn't help but flinch.
Beware the ground on which you stand. The floor is quicker than the sand.
Number 8, Mrs. Doubtfire.
There was a time when I found myself funny, but today you have proven me wrong. Thank you.
Williams really showed off his acting chops when he played a father playing a woman in a story of recent divorcee, Daniel Hillard, dressing up as his children's nanny to spend time with them. To test out how convincing the makeup was, Williams donned the outfit and went to an adult bookstore. The fact he was able to make a purchase without being detected goes to show how convincing he was in the role.
Jeez, you're big for a lady. You could play for the 49ers.
Well, I was a fullback.
This time, the director employed multiple cameras to make sure they had enough footage when Williams' signature improv skills came to the surface. So impressed was the crew with their lead actor that they filmed each scene in 2 versions. The first as the script set out, the second how Robin wanted to play it. But even when the filming wrapped, Williams kept up the persona. He frequently used the Doubtfire alias in interviews and even pretended to be Andy Kaufman's grandmother at his show at Carnegie Hall.
This holiday smells like burnt rubber.
God, it's hot in here.
Number 7, Insomnia.
Working on a new book, Mr. Finch?
Have you read any of my books?
I haven't.
It's easy to forget that the lovable, family-friendly entertainer had played a darker character on more than one occasion. Perhaps his darkest was playing the calculated killer in a teen murder case being investigated by LA cops in a town where the sun doesn't set. Yet, despite being on the poster and in promotional material, Williams doesn't appear on screen until the 58th minute, although he does have a spoken line almost 10 minutes earlier. Interestingly, director Christopher Nolan had to work around the different methods of his leads. Al Pacino prefers methodical preparation, whereas Williams favors minimal prep but many takes. In the end, Nolan told the actors to figure it out themselves, which is how we got their magnetic chemistry on screen.
Show me where she is. Show it to me now.
She's okay. Listen, it's all fine.
Number 6, The Birdcage. Audiences went crazy for Williams in this remake of a French cult movie, which follows a gay couple putting on a straight front so that they can meet their son's girlfriend's extremely conservative parents. Williams and his co-star, Nathan Lane, are staples of improv, so the director had to get them to do at least one good take of the scene as written before they could move on. But the biggest obstacle was Williams. He was hesitant to play another flamboyant character, so to get around this, he was switched from playing the over-the-top Albert to being cast as Armand. Still, there is some of that trademark Williams slapstick in the mix. During the shrimp scene, Williams fell for real. If you look carefully, you can see his co-stars trying to hold back laughter.
I look like my grandfather in this suit. Dressed like this in every picture. Killed himself when he was 30.
Number 5. Good Morning, Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Hey, this is not a test. This is rock and roll.
One movie that let Williams' improvisation run wild was when he played an unorthodox DJ assigned to the Army radio station during the Vietnam conflict. In fact, he ad-libbed all the broadcasts made by his character, Adrian Cronauer. To make use of Williams' physical comedy, they wrote a scene during principal photography where Adrian entertains troops face-to-face. Without it, the audience may not have connected with the renegade disc jockey. But in fact, it was Williams who was instrumental in making the film a reality. The script had gone through several changes and was even pitched as a TV series and a movie of the week. It was only when Robin caught wind of the movie's treatment document that he realized it would be the perfect vehicle for his brand of humor.
I have never ever in my travels come across a man as large as you who has absolutely no penis.
Number 4. The Fisher King.
We just met, made love, and broke up, all in the space of 30 seconds. And I don't remember having the first kiss.
This time around, Williams was on the other side of the DJ booth when he played Perry, a deranged homeless man affected by the mistake of a shock jock. Keep a lookout in the hospital scene for when the fly lands on Williams' foot. In a testament to his dedication as an actor, he doesn't even flinch to having the insect crawl over him. But maybe that was because director Terry Gilliam had to ask his lead to not overdo it. With all the restraints on budget and time, the team had to move quickly, but things really reached boiling point when Williams wasn't permitted to do a retake. Daylight was ruining the shot, but everyone was too scared to tell the physically strong actor. In the end, the director promised a reshoot if the rushes weren't up to scratch, and recalls being squeezed tightly in Williams' grip.
We've got him! Come on! Holy shit!
Number 3. Awakenings.
If she batted it away, I might call it a reflex. But she didn't. As you can see, she caught it.
Still a reflex, Doctor.
I'm sorry, if you're right, I would agree with you.
Dr. Malcolm Sayer stands out as one of Williams' more down-to-earth characters in this comedy drama based on the works of Dr. Oliver Sacks on catatonic patients who finally wake up after years in comas. Williams even went on record to say that it was one of his favorite projects. That attachment was seen in the rehearsal stage, where Williams and co-star Robert De Niro spent time with Sacks and his patients at his hospital. In fact, Williams and De Niro got on well despite some violence. During a scene where security guards restrain a man, Williams accidentally hit De Niro in the face with his elbow. Though it broke De Niro's nose, he was thankful because he had broken his nose in the opposite direction, so Williams ended up straightening it.
Hey! Sorry.
Number 2. Dead Poets Society.
You must trust that your beliefs are unique, your own, even though others may think them odd or unpopular, even though the herd may go, that's bad.
Another fine dramatic role for Williams was when he played a maverick teacher by the name of John Keating, who emboldens his boarding school students to push the limits of their self-expression. Williams even said that he was attracted to the role because Keating was the type of teacher he wished he had way back when he was a boy. It's even his own real-life yearbook photo that makes an appearance in the film's senior photographs scene. It's another favorite project by Williams, and he even said Peter Weir was the best director he ever worked with. Sorry, Spielberg. Maybe that was because the filmmaker addressed Robin as Robin Keating on the set, so that the character would be shaded with 15% Williams.
Come on, Mr. Overstreet, you twerp.
Gross?
Exactly!
Despite this appeal to Williams' charismatic, playful side, many actors remarked how somber he was during the process. Yet this wasn't method acting, but simply because he was getting divorced at the time. Still, his performance was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actor in a Leading Role.
Come on, louder. Yo, oh, that's a mouse. Come on, louder. Yo. Oh, good God, boy, yell like a man. There it is.
Our number 1 pick is Good Will Hunting.
This girl's like fucking perfect right now. I don't want to ruin that. Maybe you're perfect right now. Maybe you don't want to ruin that.
Williams secured his first and only Oscar when he played the maths mentor, Sean, to Matt Damon's blue-collared super genius caught at a crossroads in life. No doubt the moment that helped him win was the memorable monologue about his love for his wife. The lines about her farting were an ad-lib from Williams himself. Not only did it make Matt Damon laugh for real, but the sly camera shake hints that even the crew was cracking up. But according to the screenwriters, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, Williams' best contribution was to be put as the last line of the film. When Robin won his Oscar for his supporting role, he sent a small replica to the actor who dubbed his voice in German with a note reading, "Thank you for making me famous in Germany." But despite this landmark career achievement, Williams said that as soon as the Oscar buzz wore off, people were back calling him Mork from his early television days.
Well, maybe he doesn't want what you want. There's more to life than a fucking Fields Medal. Why don't we give him time to figure out what he wants?
And there we have it, the top 10 Robin Williams movies of all time. If you think we forgot to mention one, let us know in the comments below. If you'd like us to do more countdowns, then leave a like and don't forget to share this with a big Williams fan. As always, be sure to subscribe to the channel and get notified of our next video.